Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to StarRupture. Today, I'm here to make your life a little bit easier. So, usually one of the methods that is being used right now for like any section of the game is making factories in different sections of the map and sending all of the buildings in. But in order to ease your, let's say, pain a little bit, I came up with number one, the compact factory series, which I'm making right now. Like that one, like these two little factories here, like this and that. These are just enough for producing the turbine. Like literally, basically with these two buildings, you can go up to level 8, 7. Yeah, and I'm going to the assembler level, so I'm first making the things that you need for those, and that will make your, let's say, building in general more organized in a way. But today, it's about logistics more than anything else, because a lot of people are actually a fan of using these little receivers here. Yeah, I'm using these receivers too, but I'm using them for the compact mega structure. Like, it's not a mega structure, like, this is a base that even casual players that don't want to do mathematics can actually follow and actually finish the game with. As you can see, like, it's very big, and it's not the most efficient, let's say, thing out there. But the thing that makes it super easy is the logistics system that I'm using in it. What is the logistics system? It's basically buffers, man. Like, what are buffers? Buffers are buildings as such that store units of, let's say, backed up material in order to push it to your system before anything else goes. For example, a simple buffer like this in front of, let's say, one of these receivers allows this to actually feed all of these little fellas when they're producing without the need of the receiver doing anything. So by the time this starts feeding, the receiver, instead of putting the materials inside the refineries, it puts it inside the buffer, and the material that are going to come from the sky itself are going to get here, but the system will not need it because the system already is being fed from here. So these things will never actually stop working in the time of need. And as you can see, like, I even have buffers in the front of some of my buildings. See, like, even if that is late, and the production of, even though this is like half a second per, let's say, sulfuric acid, here is feeding all of the buildings inside my factory. And right now they're not doing anything because that place is actually filled with the things that they are producing. Like, this factory has stopped working because everything is now full almost. But yeah, as you can see, like, look, instead of, like, making stuff in the other side of the world and sending them via, let's say, flying jets that you will forget which one is bringing what and how much, like here, what I'm doing is by using buffers, like the same thing, like the storage system here, the storage system here, the storage system here, the storage system here, and the storage system here, 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 and around here. I have now circulated all of the necessary raw materials inside of my buildings and needed for all of finishing the game just around this corner of the universe. Yeah, like, look, the calcite sheets that are producing in the other side of the world are connected to these ones that are actually producing here. And look, before any of the resources that are being produced here come to my base directly via rails, they're being stored in a lane, big lane here. Look. There's titanium, 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 helium, titanium, titanium, wolfranium, wolfranium, helium, titanium, helium, and helium. And look, even what you can do, like, see, for example, this helium farm is taking too long because it's 2, and this place needs more. Like, look, these buffers can actually buff each other as well. So look, for example, I have low production and high intake from here. So what I can do, look, I will just make a little bit of a spaghetti here. Oh, it just upgraded the other building. Yeah, that's a bug, by the way. If your lane goes past through another lane, instead of, let's say, doing anything, it will, see, it will upgrade the lane that is passing through. Yeah, welcome to StarRupture Early Access, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. See, now because that thing has low things, I just put one of my buffers and buff my buffer with another buffer. See, now, before anything that comes from there, this lane will actually support it as well. See, easy. I did not need to go there, make more receivers, make more dispatchers, and send them here, and make the, let's say, smelters and so on. yeah, basically everything that is happening, everything that is on the map right now, like at this section, in this wolfranium and sulfur section, they're all being just managed to come and be stored in my base very easily using these buffers. Look, and the buffers are super big, and I'm expanding them depending on how many lanes are coming. Look, this is all the calcium block and more that I will need ever in this game. And they're all being buffed here. There's another buffer up there that if this is empty, it will come from there and it will fill this. Then instead of the, let's say, resources running all the way from across the universe to reach here, these reach here. These start producing. These that are empty will be buffed from another system. That system will be fed from the extractors that are in the other side of the universe. Yes, and I'm doing it for my calcium, I'm doing it for my sulfur, I'm doing it for my titanium, for my wolfranium. And as you can see, like by doing this, I have completely removed the need of using, I don't know, teleporters going around the world to get another batch of 100 of a single material. Yeah, I have basically made my life easier. I do not need to leave this starter zone unless I want to get more resources. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to bring on the rails and so on here. But look, that's the Great Wall of China for wolfranium. This is the Great Wall of China for titanium. And look, even my buffers that are buffing all of these buildings are putting the resources inside other buffers that are sending it to the other buildings. And believe it or not, yes, the buffer is sending that to another buffer that's in another place. This factory never stops working, okay? Because everything is backed up by another storage. I know I've said buffer a billion times now by the time that we are reaching here. But yeah, that's the basic mathematics and like basic logic actually, not mathematics behind it. And as you can see, like most of the buildings that are here, see, like every production line has buffers behind it. So even when the resources are not coming because I have stopped like pushing resources in some of these parts because I'm using them elsewhere, yeah, these are all working. And they never stop working because if something stops working, the other building will feed it. Yeah, and if you're wondering, like these are the triplet systems or the balance loaders that I made. Basically, I'm using them to balance the, let's say, intake and outtake of my production lines. And yeah, so for example, like if I'm putting more there, I'm gonna like change this. And by just using like this magical little system, I'm able to actually circulate whatever is coming to my base and going from my base to wherever I want. Like, look, I have extra production there, no problem. I will use it on this side that needs it more. There you go. See? Wherever needs more resources, I can manually just control it over time. For example, at some point in the game, I needed to dispatch him, so I'd send them there. Now that I need it in the other side, I'm sending it the other way. But anyways, that's another story. But basically, man, like, long story short, before any building and after a building, make a storage. In between the lines that are carrying your resources from one base of, let's say, extraction to another, make at least 2 buffers. Make 2 storages. For example, like, if iron is coming from all the way over that, make a storage there. Yeah, and they will be there. That will reduce your travel time by more than 50%. If you're wondering how much is 50%, it is super fast, okay? So I'm just making like getting into the habit of putting storages here and there and connecting your rails to them and then taking the rails out of them and putting them into your main, let's say, frame. You will basically remove the travel time of everything around your base, so you don't need to deal with dispatchers and remembering what is where is where, and how many is coming from where to where. Make your life easier. Yeah, these games are very mathematic, and if you do the math, you can do a very good job, but nobody remembers what is going really where. Yeah, if you don't have those Excel sheets, you will not remember. And anyways, I know I rambled a lot about the buffers, but I want to like pinpoint the exact like importance of these, because a lot of players like make the mistake of not using buffers and balance loaders. that actually allow you to easily do the logistics for your resources off from basic to advanced type. And just like I do in my compact series is mathematics, by the way. Everything that's being produced is exactly getting like used and becoming final material. So except from doing something like this that has zero loss of material in production, you need buffers in front of every single one of these if you want to have a smooth sailing. But these are optimized in a way that every single material that comes from there goes in there and gets eaten up. So yeah, unless these things get full, this will always produce 30 impellers every minute. That will produce 30 turbines every minute until everything gets, and it doesn't need buffers. But anyways, yeah, this is the importance of logistics and buffers. Please put storages everywhere, as much as possible. I know it takes batteries and it takes core capacity heat, but do it so you are safe, at least inside your mind. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about the logistics, about the buildings, about the compact factories, and so on and so forth, let me know in the comment section. I answer all of the comments. And as always, thanks for the likes, thanks for the hypes, thanks for the supers and memberships. As always, if it's nighttime, I hope you sleep like babies. And if it's daytime, I hope you make these compact factories so you don't have to deal with anything else in this game. You can find the link in the link for these two in the description, by the way. The battery is going to get included, and after that, generator factory is coming. See you in the next video, fellas. See you in the next video.